So welcome back to Faith on Friday. For the last case for 12 Days of Murder for 2024, we are going to, specifically to Minnesota. I know our killer is basically in jail for the death of her last husband. That's what, if you search her name, like, it's going to come up. She's arrested for the death of her last husband, obviously. But I'm tagging Minnesota because that's the first death that I at least believe that she was involved in, considering the fact that this woman has 5 husbands. So with that being said, I'm going to cover what's publicly known. Give my thoughts down below. If you knew the victims, I guess, or the killer herself. So Sarah was born in February of 1975 in Missouri. Her parents would apparently split, but her mom winds up getting remarried. Her mom decides to put her up for adoption when she's like 12. In 1990, she would have a younger brother named Joseph, who was 10 at the time, and apparently he was found hanging and his death was ruled as an accident. That's all that's really said about that, but considering that's her brother, I just thought I'd let you know about that. So in her junior year of high school, she winds up meeting a guy by the name of Titus. They get married in September 1993. She had at least one affair that we know of. They had moved to Fort Hood, Texas, while he was in the Army. So then, of course, after he discovers the affair, he obviously files for divorce. He winds up getting remarried to a woman by the name of Angela, who Sarah would wind up harassing constantly. She winds up moving on to Titus's best friend, Travis. They wind up getting married. She apparently beats him regularly, but of course, he calls the police, but charges never filed against Sarah. And then apparently she winds up having some kids, and then it's said that she apparently was beating on her own kids as well. So there, examples that at least that I was able to find on how bad the abuse was. Apparently, Sarah had beat Michael so bad to the point to where he couldn't go to school for a week. And then Ashley, who was her daughter, had apparently threatened to call CPS. And Sarah said, well, I'm going to give you a good reason to call CPS. So then when CPS was called, Ashley had a black eye, lacerations on her back, and broken fingers. So Sarah herself actually winds up joining the Army in 1997. She apparently meets a man by the name of Christopher Donahue in Alaska. They marry, wind up having 3 kids of their own. So it doesn't say whether her kids are, I guess, like Chris's kids. That's what it seems like it is, but I can't exactly confirm who the father was on that. Sarah, Chris, and the family, they will wind up moving from Alaska to Texas. Her father would apparently need help being taken care of because he was in his older years. He needed, like, he's at that point in life where somebody needs to be able to take care of him. And so 3 days apparently after Sarah starts taking care of him, he dies mysteriously, but it's ruled natural causes. So in 2014, her grandmother apparently dies. However, she finds out that her living brother apparently got everything. And so she proceeds to set his house on fire and puts all his grandma's belongings that he couldn't get yet into a U-Haul, so where she has them. So then, of course, police are called because, obviously the fire, that's art. You got to put the fire out before it spreads. So then they find Sarah with apparently poison ivy on her ankles because the fire was started in a spot where there was poison ivy. And even then, no charges were filed. So in 2017, Sarah had left the Army with the official title sergeant because she'd been in the Army for like 20 years. And then that same year, Chris files for divorce. She winds up meeting a man by the name of David Bragg. So apparently he moves in with Sarah and her kids. Her son Ryan would apparently say that David apparently was abusive, and so had even slammed into a wall over an argument about the bathroom, and had pushed him down the stairs and had chased him out of the house with a rifle over an argument about home. And so a sister, who I assume is Ashley, but not confirmed this, a sister apparently said to have overheard this. And so apparently David had made plans to apparently leave Sarah, but on May 9, 2018, she winds up shooting him and claims self-defense and doesn't get charged for that death. So by this point, she had already met David George. Apparently, he was actually married at the time they met. However, his wife Rebecca had died on January 31st, 2018. On August 31st, a fire was apparently set to the home that David and Rebecca had shared. However, they say that we were in Texas at the time, so we were nowhere near the fire, so it couldn't have been us. So then she now asked David, her new boo, like, hey, could you go kill my ex-husband's new wife, Heather? So then he has to drive to Arizona from Texas, apparently pretend to be like a flower delivery man, assume Heather's going to open the door, and then the plan was to shoot her like right then and there. However, Heather does not answer the door, Chris does. So then apparently he backed out of the plan, only because Heather did not answer the door. Sarah's daughter apparently overheard the plan and called Chris, because that's their dad, and Chris, of course, called police. David and Sarah filed for divorce. So in late 2021, on a dating app, Sarah winds up meeting an officer by the name of Joseph Hartfield. So Joseph apparently was born October 24th, 1976. He graduates high school in 1995. They get married in February 2022, so they haven't even known each other for 6 months and they're already married. So on January 7th, 2023, Sarah would call for medical attention regarding Joseph. So then they get there and they find like 10 empty syringes of insulin in the bed. She forbids his siblings from seeing him in the hospital, but his mother was still allowed to see him. Apparently, there was a machine that was connected to her phone to let her know, like, hey, his levels were too high, they were too low, and apparently it had been going off for about anywhere between 4 to 6 hours before she'd even called 911. So then, unfortunately, Joseph was then taken off on life support on the 15th. So then Sarah, of course, gets arrested for this because this is listed confirmed death that you were involved in. So, we're going to arrest you for that. She gets put on a $5 million bail. It was lowered to $4 million, then finally at $2 million. Apparently in 2023, she apparently writes to the news. But I guess, like, of course, she was paying attention to what the news was saying about her, and she didn't like what it said. So she wrote to them, was like, hey, could y'all say, like, nice things about me? And then, of course, she's currently awaiting trial. So that is the case, at least at the time that I'm recording this video. Like I said, that's the case of Sarah Hartfield. That's what we know publicly as of right now. So like I said, if you knew Sarah, if you knew any of the husbands, apparently Titus and Travis, apparently they're still alive, but they want to live private lives, understandably. And so, let me know if you think the death of the dad was a little suspicious. Let me know if you think the death of the grandma was a little suspicious, because some people think she may have done that too. So with that being said, cover Faith Females 2 times a week. Subscribe for more Faith Females, and I'll see you guys next one. Bye.
Think you're something out of my nightmares. See me right there. But if I lay down and I play dead and I stay dead, then will you get bored of killing me? Then will you get bored of killing me? Then will you get bored of killing me? Then will you get bored? And will you get back?